VQMS, which stands for Vigorous Quality Management System, is a management consulting company towards quality and management. VQMS is a team of highly experienced and acknowledged experts in the field of training, consultation, and outsourcing services for national and international boundaries in Lean Six Sigma, quality and processes management, and other corporate boundaries, that is, corporate governance management. A green certificate is a tradable asset which proves that electricity has been generated by a renewable or green energy source. It is also referred to as Renewable Energy Certificate or Renewable Obligation Certificate. Green certificates are issued and traded primarily because of governmental policies which require suppliers to have a certain percentage of renewable production in their supply portfolio. With green certificates, governments can set exact targets as to the level of renewable production in a country, while the market finds the most efficient way to meet these targets. It is an alternative to other policy mechanisms such as renewable investment subsidies, renewable production subsidies, fiscal benefits, and feed-in tariffs. Green Campus certification encourages builders, developers, owners, architects, and consultants to design and construct green buildings, thereby enhancing the economic and environmental performance of buildings and campuses. Construction sectors all around the world are growing rapidly. Preserving the environment poses a host of challenges though. To enable the construction industry environmentally sensitive, Green Campuses concept has been established. Campuses that would be covered under this rating system include campuses with multiple buildings and same functionality, for example, buildings in IT parks, administrative campuses, etc. Campuses with multiple buildings and different functionality, for example, buildings in educational campus, industrial parks, etc. Buildings in a campus owned by a single owner, and buildings in a campus owned by multiple owners. Green building certification encourages builders, developers, owners, architects, and consultants to design and construct green buildings, thereby enhancing the economic and environmental performance of buildings. Some of the features of green building include the green building rating system addresses green features under the following categories. First, site planning and management. Second, material and resource management. Third, health and well-being. Fourth, green education. And fifth, innovation and design. Green buildings have tremendous benefits, both tangible and intangible. Most tangible benefits are reduction in water and energy consumption right from day one at the offices. The registration certificate rating awarded for green building is valid for a period of 3 years, and the surveillance certificate is valid for only a year. Thereafter, the person has to apply and reapply for recertification with prevailing versions. Green Lab certification helps in recognizing laboratories for the implementation of quality sustainability and efficiency practices. Certainly, labs need to be fully compliant towards quality assurance and other best practices. Within this process, laboratories are able to achieve credits in the areas of energy efficiency, water efficiency, waste reduction, chemicals, purchasing, and education, and evaluate potential areas of improvement. Labs can achieve one of 4 levels of certification based on points earned for each action. Green Lab process and scope consists of 5 steps. First, registration process and baseline assessment. Using an online self-assessment, we ask members of a lab a series of questions on the equipment they use, the practices they employ, and how they purchase, use, and dispose of products. Second, guidelines, processes, and implementation changes. Using our recommendations as guidelines, we encourage our labs to take some time, which is usually 6 to 8 months, to make changes in their laboratory. Third, certification process. Members of the lab retake the online self-assessment, and we again use everyone's answers to see what best practices the lab has adopted. Fourth, continual improvement processes. After the initial certification, we encourage labs to take 1 to 2 years to maintain the best practices they have adopted and work on further improvements. This time period is not strictly set, and when a lab is ready to seek recertification, we are happy to assess them. And fifth, recertification. When labs are ready for recertification, they retake the self-assessment to see what best practices they are still implementing and where they might make future changes. Green Office Certification Program was implemented in order to raise awareness, educate, and provide measurable guidelines for greening the office environment. Green Office Certification is the industrial and corporate development approach which recognizes offices or departments to go green, who outshine in their efforts to restrain negative environmental impacts arising from energy, waste, transportation, and purchasing. The Green Office certification approach is aimed at reducing the campus environmental footprint one office at a time. The purpose is to focus on encouraging behavioral changes that will have a large impact on office, water and energy consumption as well as waste reduction. Green Office Certification Program supports, promotes and recognizes offices that are engaging in sustainable practices. Offices may achieve certification based on the score they receive on a checklist of green office criteria in the following areas. First, energy and water use. Second, waste and recycling, specifically of paper. And third, sustainability planning and leadership. Green Event certification helps event planners reduce their impact in a range of areas including catering and food, venues and waste reduction. Green Event incorporates environmental considerations to minimize the negative impact on the environment. Green events are about increasing economic and environmental efficiency by minimizing the use of resources and reducing the amount of waste produced from event activities. Events can now be certified under three categories: green, zero waste, and zero waste green. Green Event certification encourages, recognizes, and celebrates the voluntary, sustainable efforts that event organizers take to reduce the environmental, social, and financial costs of their event. It also creates an opportunity to inform and engage event attendees in sustainable practices. Use our event planning checklist to obtain tips and ideas on how to plan your event. It's easy to certify your event. And if you're serving food, refer to the following Green Event Standard guidelines. A formal program must be in place. Simply referring efforts to make events greener in the absence of a formal program is not sufficient. For further information, you can check out our website www.vqms.co.in or follow our social media handles. Thank you.